And welcome back. In this video, we will be creating this other pages for our LMS project as it is in this template. As you can see currently, we have just created only this home page here. So we will be creating this extra pages, courses page, contact page, and instructors page for now. We will deal with others later. Like all these, privacy policy. Now let's start with this page here, courses page. So back to PyCharm, first close this pages. We are done with them. Now expand home app, then open views file. Then down here, let's define a function called courses. And this function will take in request and will return render with request as the first argument. Then template name home/courses.html. Now let's create this HTML file. Right-click on Home folder inside Templates directory and create new HTML file called Courses. Next, we need to map this Courses function with its URL routing. So open URLs file inside Home app. Then make sure there is this comma here. Now, path then courses. Meaning that URL root will be /courses, then views.courses, and lastly name your courses. Then comma after this. Now let's go back to courses.html file. Then remove all this code here, and let's first start by inheriting base file. So extends base.html. Secondly, let's load static. Then opening block content code, block content, and end block. Remember, this is the section where the page specific content will fall. Let's go to the browser and test this and see. We should have the header and footer section by now because that's what the base file holds. So back to the browser, then /courses. And as you can see, it's loading header and footer as expected. But as you can see in our template, we need to have our courses page to look like this here. So let's do that. Open the template location. I open mine in Sublime Text. Then open courses.html file. Then copy from just where the header section ends until just before the beginning of footer section.
Copy that and go back to courses.html file. Now paste that here inside block content section that's done. Next, we just need to head back to the browser and test this. Refresh the page, and now everything is fine except the images. So let's fix that. First, make sure you scroll to the beginning of the file, then make sure you have this line here, load static. If that's okay, then let's go ahead and reference the images well. Here, let's remove this, then using templating tags, write static, then wrap this on quotes, then close the tags. Now do the same to all the images available in this file. I believe all the images are now referenced well. Let's go back to the browser and test this. Let's refresh the page and see. Nothing is working. Why is this not working? Let's go back to PyCharm and check our static directory structure. We might be missing something. And yes, our images are stored in a folder or directory called images, and we need to add that to all our referencing. Let's just test it with once and see. Add here, images, / and see. Now back to the browser, refresh the page, and now the image has been loaded okay. So it was just the issue of file structure and correct referencing. So let's do the same to all the images again. Add images / I will just use find and replace, all just to save time. But for you, you can just do it one by one. Now let's go back to the browser and check. And now it's working well except this one here. Let's fix it. This is the one. It added an extra images / when we replaced all. Remove that. Test it again, and now all is well. We are now done with courses page. Next is contact page, so close courses file. Now back to views file, let's now define a function called contact that will take in request. And will return render with the first argument as request. Then next is template name home/contact.html. Now let's create this HTML template. inside Home, create new HTML file called contact. Now to URLs file, let's map the contact function. So path, then contact, followed by views.contact. And lastly, name equals sign contact. And don't forget to end it with a comma. Now open contact.html file. Then remove all the startup code. Now let's extend base.html. Followed by load static. Open the block content. Lastly, let's end block. Now, we need to get this file here. So open your HTML template location, then open contact file. Now scroll to where the header section ends. Now select from this point to here. Just before the beginning of footer section. Copy the selected code. Now go back to PyCharm. Now paste the copied code inside block section here. Now that's done. Let's just fix the image here. Back to the browser, navigate to /contact, and as you can see, it's working perfectly fine. Lastly, we will create this page here, instructors. So back to PyCharm, open views file. Down here, define a new function called instructors, and it will take in request. Now return render with request as the first argument. Next is template name equals sign home/instructors.html. Now create that file. Next, let's map the function to its URL. So path, then instructors, followed by views.instructors, and lastly name equals sign instructors. Next, open instructors.html file, then do away with all this. Now extends base.html. Then load static. Now block content. And lastly, end block. Now open your HTML template and copy from just after header section to just before the beginning of header section. Back to PyCharm. Now paste inside block content section. Now let's fix all the images. So opening templating tags, then static, then images, then wrap this and close the tags. Do this to all images. Now, I believe everything is done. Let's go back to the browser and navigate to /instructors. And everything is okay except these two images. But I noticed it also had this issue in our initial template here. Let's fix it. It's John and Ricky. So let's copy the correct referencing here. The search John. Now let's replace here with what we copied. Let's scroll to Ricky also. Now replace this also. Back to the browser, refresh the... That's it for this video. See you in the next one.